What's going on, everybody? Terrell here, and I'm back again with another review. This time for the new animated movie Kaiju number 8 Mission Recon. And this is a new anime movie in the lineup of anime movies that we've been getting recently, where they recap the season and give you a little bit of new content. We just had it with Solo Leveling. They did it with Demon Slayer, and a few other of these that they've done, so, particularly with Demon Slayer. Kaiju number 8 Mission Recon is releasing on April 13th, 14th, and 16th in North America, and then everywhere else from the April 10th going forward. And like I said, Kaiju number 8 Mission Recon. I watched this in the English dub, and then I watched this too and with the Japanese, because that's originally how I watched it on Crunchyroll. If you guys aren't familiar with the story, wildly popular anime through the pages of Shonen, of course, about a guy named Kafka Hibino who works in monster disposal after reuniting with his childhood friend Mina, who he's chasing to stand beside on the battlefield, because he wants to be in the corpse to fight kaiju. He initially works in disposal, which helps get rid of kaiju and clean the areas as well. But during an incident on the field, Kafka is attacked by a kaiju, sent to the hospital, and then pretty much has a kaiju go inside his body, then becoming Kaiju number 8. So the story is pretty much about him hiding his secret identity as a kaiju while also taking other kaiju down. Almost kind of, I don't want to say similar to Attack on Titan, whereas like you have like this big secret, like that there was like human titans, and everybody was in the know on that. Kind of similar to this. Feels like a cross between like My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan a little bit. Now that I think about it, I feel like I never really put those two together before. But as time goes on, Kafka, eventually winds up getting, acclimated to his abilities, and then it's this, and then it becomes the story of the friends around him keeping his secret of him being a kaiju and seeing where that leads. Unfortunately, like I said, watching this movie, I wish I didn't watch the anime first. I wish I didn't read the manga first, because I wouldn't notice certain things throughout this movie, and just the way it flows. First of all, the pacing is extremely fast. That's one of the things that I picked up and I noticed right away, is that the pacing is extremely fast. And it just soars through. It pretty much just soars through the first season. It misses a lot of the nuance, the character development, some of the character building, the relationships. I feel like they really don't come across well at all here. Just like I said, just the way it's cut, and I just I just feel like they miss a lot of stuff. I said it was just a lot of moments. And again, I want to spoil it for those who have not seen Kaiju no Mi. I would definitely recommend watching the series first, because, like I said, this movie just misses so much that gives the story more feeling, gives the characters more feeling, and I just really feel like it sucks, because like this is a really good property, this is a really good story, and I feel like it just misses so much by zooming through this. Like, I get why I surely do get why they do what they do with these, and like they want to, reach out to a new audience, people that are probably, don't have Crunchyroll or are not watching these series, or people that just want to go to the movie theater to see these shows or stuff on the big screen. And I just want to make sure I get my information right here. But yeah, Kaiju number 8 is 12 episodes long. So it takes 12 episodes and compacts that basically into 2. And leaving out some of the best parts, like I said, of the show, some of the action, Some of the bonds between the characters. I feel like this definitely misses the mark on that tremendously. I noticed they added some new music that wasn't originally in the show to this movie. Didn't think it necessarily fit the scene, but also just didn't recognize the song. That I feel like initially when doing the show, some of the music, like even though it was originally made for the show, some of the music, like the title sequence and the ending, you recognize those songs because those are done by popular artists. Um, yeah, I mean, the animation is not doing anything differently than production IG, the studio that worked on this. They didn't necessarily add anything new there. Um, but yeah, man, I'm not a fan of these this new wave of movies for anime. I am just not a fan at all. It's almost kind of the reverse, like where Resurrection of Frieza and Battle of the Gods became got into the series for Super, and they took that, but almost kind of downgraded them a little bit. This just to me just feels so lazy. Like okay, here's a recap of the first season, done in like the most horrendous way possible, and then we're gonna give you a little bit of trinket of new content. Either it be the next episode from the new season, like how they did with Solo Leveling, which I actually think that particular one did a better job than how Kaiju number 8 moves, and I think that's probably due to majority of Solo Leveling is like when they go from one episode to the next, it's usually like a whole new day or a whole new story. Whereas this, like, I feel like Kaiju number 8, when you watch it, it flows from like one thing to the next, so like one event to the next, and like again, I feel like you miss all of that watching this movie. The biggest thing from this movie, though, like I said, it adds new content, but it adds the original story. And I want to make sure I get that right. Hoshino's Day Off, and this is about 15 minutes or so. That's added to this movie's runtime of about 2 hours, including in credits. So the description for this is Hoshino's Day Off, a rare day of peace for the Defense Force. After spending so long training, Reno has forgotten what he's supposed to do with free time. He decides to go on a mission to tell him with Haru, but things go in an unexpected direction. I don't know what to tell you there. Like if you feel like you need to see this, like this new content, I feel like you could wait. I don't think that I don't think that's necessarily bad, but I feel like if you've already watched the show, then there's almost no real reason for you to go watch this movie unless you just want to go to this. You want to see your favorite anime on the big screen, and I'm not saying that that's anything wrong with that, but this is not doing anything new. It's not reinventing the wheel here. I get why they're doing it, but this re-releases of the show with little content for payoff to pay for these movies. Maybe if the ticket prices were low, I'd be like, all right, yeah, definitely $5. We're gonna go see the Kaiju number 8 movie. But if you already have knowledge of this, it cuts out so much of the story tremendously that I feel like you just really don't. To me, I really didn't enjoy it as much because I know what's missing, and some of the feel that extra story has that elevates everything else up to this point. And then the movie just ends so abruptly. It just cuts off pretty much like I think the episode or two before the series ends, and then credits, and then we go to the new content. Again, I mean, like I said, this is coming out April 13th in theaters. I'm saying that you can wait. I don't think there's any rush to go see this. Like I said, they didn't do anything new with the anime. Little new animation. They did little new music added. Like I said, I mean, it's cool. It'll probably be really cool visually to see in the movie theater. I appreciate you, Crunchyroll, for allowing me to see the movie early. But at some point, man, we got to start getting these original movies back. We got to start working on some new content. Like, I feel like studios have definitely gotten away from, not all studios, I'm saying like just having the time, and Kaiju number 8 is still new, so I'm not mad about that. So I guess they feel like, okay, let's get something out, let's bring them in, maybe they'll watch the show. But we got to go back to start working on original movies, man. Like, I feel like One Piece right now is like the only one doing like, and Dragon Ball like the only ones doing like original movies anymore. Everything else is like recaps and like 5 minutes of new content. Like I said, I love Kaiju number 8, but this was not the move. But if you want to see it, if you want to support, Crunchyroll and anime in the theater, if you haven't seen anything of Kaiju number 8, then go check it out. But I would highly recommend getting a Crunchyroll subscription and just watching it on there. I feel like that's the better move, because like I said, you miss a lot of content. I'm not sure if they're gonna release Hoshino's Day Off going forward, like if we're gonna get that or not. But yeah, don't do it. watch the show on Crunchyroll. But other than that, like I said, you got my review, you got my opinion on this. Deal with that as you want. If you really must see it, check it out. But let me know if you do see it, what you thought about the movie in the comments below. I love Kaiju number 8. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys thought as well. If you do check it out, if you thought the new content was worth the watch, please let me know. But Terrell saying, check out the anime, possibly wait for this Hoshino's Day Off if they release it going forward in season 2. But that's me. On that note, I'll see you guys next time for another review, and I appreciate you for taking the time to watch. See you.